Welcome back. Now the next thing I'm going to tackle is putting the cooling system back together. Now I've already started with this part. This is the thermostat housing. Now when I put it back together, there's a O-ring there and there's an O-ring there. I've replaced them with some generic O-rings that I had in a large pack. I'm not sure it's going to leak or not, so we'll test that. If it does, then I'll replace that. Okay, so I've tidied up the oil cooler pipes on the wire wheel because they were looking a little bit rusty. The only reason I took them off because I thought one of them was leaking. I will be replacing the aluminium washers when I reassemble it. And we're also going to get the oil cooler back on. Now looking at this, it's not in the greatest shape. I was hoping to get it refurbished, but I took it to a company and they said it can't be done. Something to do with the fins being part of the oil cooler, they're not separate to it apparently. So I'm going to put it on for the moment. It does work, and then I'll keep an eye out for a good second hand one. Let's get the oil cooler feeder pipes back on, remembering to use new seals. Just having a little bit of trouble with that one, getting it past the frame of the bike stand. Okay, and this little separator goes on as well. It's like a little brace. So the torque settings for the pipes to the cooler matrix is 25 Newton meters. And the hose to sump is 35 Newton meters. So the temperature sensor and the fan switch have both been replaced with new parts. So the temperature on the dashboard or the clocks wasn't working. Now I know the clock is working because I've tested it. It's just the sensor wasn't working, so I've replaced that. And same with the fan wasn't coming on, but I know the fan is working because I've tested that. Now the parts that I've changed them for, I couldn't find a temperature sensor for this bike, but from my local motor factors I managed to get one that looked the same and fits. I think it was off a Suzuki car. And that's for the fan switch. They're quite expensive. I think the cheapest one I could find was about £40-ish. A genuine one is in the region of £60 to £70. I managed to get this one off Amazon. It came over from China and I think it cost less than £6. Now whether both of these will work or not is yet to be seen. Okay, we're now going to change the oil filter and then we're more or less ready to put oil and water back in the bike. Okay, so right, pain in the arse now that the exhaust is in the way of the oil filter. You shouldn't have to do that every time you change the oil filter. It's damn sight easier to put the filter back in if you could put the filter up, then the disc, and then that in, which I'm going to try and do. I'm not sure if that exhaust is bent or badly in position or something, but we'll try and get it back on for a minute and then we'll worry about it at a later date. Okay, so we've got our filter and our seals. Okay, let's hope this is not as tricky to put back on as it was to get off. Okay, so the oil filter retaining bolt is 20 Newton meters. And I'm going to change the sump drain plug washer. So sump drain bolt torque setting is 30 Newton meters. Okay, so to change the filter it shouldn't be that difficult, so there must be something wrong, whether the exhaust is bent slightly. So I had to loosen it off its mounts and pull it back slightly with a pry bar. So we'll worry about that when we change the oil next. So I think it's time to get some fluid in the bike now. We're going to put some oil in there and some water. New. Good. Okay, so I've had to put a nozzle off a different bottle of oil. we've got that filled right to the top. Remember, it doesn't matter if you overfill it a little bit to start with, because it's got to fill the oil cooler and all the pipes as well. Okay, that's it for now. If you join me in the next video, I'll probably be starting the bike.